Okay, well, welcome again, everybody. My name is Abdul, like I said, and this is the info session for the Student Ambassador Leadership Program. This program has been around for a few years now. When I say few, it's like literally 31 years. But throughout those 31 years, it has many different names. What the program is all about right now is extremely different than when it was formed. Originally, it was started with as a student tutoring kind of area. Throughout the years, it progressed to different venues and different departments. And for the past, I think about 15 years, it's been part of the student engagement area. And the ambassadors' roles have also changed multiple times. And this program is ever evolving, and we're very happy about that because of the pandemic. We had to evolve with that as well. And also with the merger, that's another evolvement that happened. So it's ever evolving, so please feel free to always add your new ideas to the program after I give my presentation, and we can always go from that. This is the 2021-2022 cohort for the ambassadors. The student engagement and inclusion, the mission is to engage students to change lives. When students are becoming student ambassadors, we are not only just engaging the student ambassadors, we are empowering the student ambassadors to be a change for not just themselves and our departments, but also for a change for the students at Columbus State at large and also the community that they are coming from. One of our visions is to students emerge as leaders and are empowered to reach the maximum potential. Student ambassadors are agents of diversity and inclusion. Students are connected to resources, gain experience to support their future careers. Students achieve success through involvement and make differences in their community. These are all interchangeable. Students can do multiple things like this while just talking to one specific student. They can have them engage, connect them to resources, and then also welcome them to Columbus State and also their community. These are some of the programs that we do at Columbus in our department in student engagement and inclusion. We have the Women Connection, we have the Dream Network, we have the Man Initiative, we have the Columbus State Scholar Network, we have Safe Zone, and we have the Student Ambassador Program, which is like an umbrella for all of these different programs as well. So the Student Ambassador Leadership Program, what is it? The Student Ambassador Leadership Program is a paid position at Columbus State Community College. It features visible leaders and enthusiastic campus leaders as well. So you are considered a person that not only for us to be seen as a leader, but also by the whole college. One thing that I heard a few years ago was think of the ambassador program as a fish bubble, as a fish tank, where everybody knows who you are, but you don't know everybody as well. So once you become an ambassador, you'll be introduced to many people on campus, different departments, different leaders, our leadership team, which is like the president, the vice presidents. So you will hold a position of power that we will always hold you accountable for different things that you'll be doing on campus. So you should always be aware of your surroundings. That's the visibility part. Some of the student ambassadors, what they will be doing is represent the college at events for the community. Build inclusive community at Columbus State Community College, contribute and develop a sense of community all the campuses that we have and regional centers, a chance to coordinate specific programs. To be more specific about that is you'll be able to help the Women Connection, the Man Initiative, the Scholar Network. So we will have the student ambassador working specifically for that program as well. And last but not certainly not least is to serve a bridge between students, faculty, and administrators on campus. When you're a student ambassador, you are privy to a lot of conversations, you are privy to a lot of resources that our traditional students might not be. So we want you to use that power that you have, use that resources that you know about to talk to your classmates and say, oh my God, like, do you know where the the reading center is. Do you know where the writing center is? I can connect you to that person, and just always have an ear for students to help them out for different resources that they might have, that they might need. The benefits. You get enhanced leadership skills, improve interpersonal and communication skills, build an active and engaged community, community service opportunities, develop networking skills with the college administrators, faculty, staff, and campus partners, because we collaborate with a lot of people who are not affiliated with Columbus State sometimes. So you will not be just our cohort team of like Columbus State. It will be other people that you will be able to connect with as well. Gain conferences experience. I will explain more about that later. And the pay rate is $12. Any questions so far? Awesome. Thank you. The student ambassador requirements. So the one that's the most important one is to adhere to the Columbus State Code of Conduct policy. Student ambassador students, when they become students at Columbus State, they are all required to adhere to that. And the student ambassadors are also required to adhere to that as well. We prefer at least 2.7 GPA. Acceptance will be contingent to the GPA of the current semester. So we are hiring for autumn semester. We're going to be looking at spring semester. And for some other students, we will be looking at summer semester as well. Prefer to enroll in at least 6 credits per semester. Complete a minimum of 6 hours a week or 10 hours, or maximum of 10 hours. That will be from 2 hours of office hours, 2 hours of weekly training, 2 additional hours for events and projects. And the most important thing as well, I should say, is attend a mandatory weekly ambassador meeting, and that happens on Wednesdays 2 to 4. So I know a lot of you have created your schedules already for autumn semester, and some of you have not, but Wednesdays 2 to 4 should always be available for the ambassador weekly trainings. Any questions about that? Okay.
I don't have a question, but
Yeah.
I've yet to apply for the autumn semester. Well, not apply, but add my classes. But I am going to be taking 6 credit hours.
Wonderful. Thank you. Here are some of our leadership qualities that we as a department look forward to and like to look at. There are some things that are important to me, and those are some of the things that are kind of highlighted. There's some things that are important to Genevieve or Katrina or Susan that might not be the ones that are highlighted, but all of these are some things that we really appreciate in a student ambassador and look forward to. So enthusiasm, positive attitude, open-mindedness, being responsible. And for me, I love a student ambassador who's dependable. Like, we want to give you a project, we want you to complete that project. We also want you to be a team building. This department or this program is all about working together as a team and not being individual. So being a team player is really, really important. Another one that's important to me is being punctual. We will be doing events on campus and also online events. Being punctual is always, always important. So let's just say an event starts at 1. We prefer you to be there at 12:45. Just in case like things happen early, you need maybe to like help something set up, or you might have internet problems. So if you decide to join at 1 on the dot and your internet is being wonky, it might take you a while to fix that up and you will be late. So being punctual is always appreciated and it's expected as well. And the other one that is really important to me is being inclusive. The ambassador program, in the outside, people can look at it as like an exclusive program where the elite students are part of it and it's really like, big thing, which it is all of that. But we promote to be inclusive and we promote people to be able to access, ambassadors to be accessible to all the students, faculty, and staff as well. Some of the responsibilities and campus involvement are advertise the clubs and involvement opportunities that we have at Columbus State, provide resources to students, staff, and faculty, mentorship programs like the one we talked about earlier, which is the Women Connection, Men Initiative, Scholar Network, and Dream Network. Virtual events. Since the pandemic, we had to develop a lot of virtual events that we'll be doing. Social media and marketing, that's another big part of our post-pandemic stuff that we've been doing. Community and civic engagement, campus-wide committees. You might be asked to be in a committee that is not involving our department, which is the student engagement on inclusion. It might be something totally different that we need a student's input. So you might be asked to be a part of that, and you'll be representing not only our department, but also that area as well. And also, lastly but not least, like I said, is we'll be representing the college. To continue about the responsibilities, ambassadors will be planning events, plan student programs and social events, coordinate programs like the other programs that we talked about. And earlier I said a conference experience. The ambassadors lead, create, and develop the Collegiate Leadership Conference of Ohio. This is a conference that was created by the ambassadors about 12 years ago. And the ambassadors used to go on an actual conference in Arizona many years ago, and they loved it very, very much, and they wanted to come back and they wanted to create that for themselves here at Columbus State. And with the help of the department lead at the time and the directors, they created the Collegiate Leadership Conference of Ohio. And since then, it's been a tradition that the ambassadors plan the whole event, put together, invite presenters, invite the keynotes, and also invite participations from either Columbus State students and also participations from campus-wide on all of colleges in Ohio, I should say. And it's a really fun program. It's a fun conference, I should say, and you get to experience all of the aspects of the conference, from planning to the actual day of events, which you will be doing. And that's something that's really important that you can add to your resume, that you plan such a big thing. And this year, because we have a date already, it's going to be November 12th. So it's usually 2 days. We are thinking of being one day, but it's probably going to be on the 12th and 13th or just the 12th of November. So have that date in your mind as well. Another conference, or very big conference, I should say, is the Women Leadership Summit that Women Connection a program will be hosting as well, and it will be in collaboration with all of the other programs that we do as well. Day of Service, that's a big, I don't know how many of you have been part of Columbus State when we were in person, but a day of service is when the campus lets go of like, no classes will be held from the morning classes until 5, and students, faculty, and staff will be going out to the community to volunteer for that whole day. And the Student Ambassador Program is really a big part of that, by recruiting students and having them sign up for different places to volunteer for that day. Week of Welcome is an event that we host in our department, and you can see in the pictures, when we were on campus, we'll do big events on like the courtyard area, and we'll be welcoming students to spring semester and autumn semester and all of that. And it's really fun event, and the ambassadors will be also helping out with that. We do the background work and all the like logistics, and the ambassadors will be our in-person people for that day, leading people and controlling crowd and helping with the games and all the fun things. And ambassadors recruit the other ambassadors for the next coming year. So if some of you guys are hired for next semester and you stay with us for autumn semester and spring semester, around February of 2022, we'll be recruiting for student ambassadors for the next academic year. And the ambassadors will be helping with that. They'll be helping with the interview process. They'll be helping with the recruiting people and all that stuff, and also helping with orientation as well. Any questions so far? Awesome. The application process. So a lot of you, thank you so much for responding to my emails and also coming here, but a lot of you have already applied, which is wonderful. So the application process, here it is, the online application you will be completing with several tasks, which you've already done. We need the letter of recommendation, and you submit your resume. You already submitted your resume when you submitted your online application, so that was good. All the documents must be submitted no later than July 30th. So if anybody's interested that you know who wants to be a student ambassador or who wants to get involved on campus, that is the date that they can submit all their paperwork by. Is July 30th. More on the process, that's where the website that you go to, you click on student employment, and you search for student ambassadors, and you will see the actual application to complete. The interview and acceptance process, qualified applicants will be invited to schedule an interview. Accepted applicants will be notified via your preferred method of contact, and all applicants will be notified no later than August 6th of 2021 regarding their status. So we'll let you know by then. That's the last day we can let you know, but some other students will let them know ahead of time depending on when we did the interview for them. And the start date that you'll actually start working is the 23rd. I'm sorry, is the 23rd. Like that's when we want you to do down all your paperwork. Orientation is going to be the 26th of August, the 27th of August, and the 28th of August. But we'll talk more about that when after the interview process and all of that as well. Any questions regarding the interview process and application?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the letter of recommendation, when I filled out the scholarship. Sorry, when I filled out the application, it said input your letter of recommendation inside the application, or is there an individual paper I need?
So some students submitted their letter application inside the application, and some students actually sent it to me. So did you submit yours inside the application?
Okay.
Did you submit yours inside the application?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so. They asked for.
No problem.
Okay.
We have not went through all the applications all the way through yet. So that's what my plan to do and see if everybody submitted that. If they haven't, or send it to me directly, I will get in contact with those students as well. Yes, Lois?
I had a question about that too, because when I applied, it only asked for a name that I wanted to use for my reference. I didn't know where to put a reference letter, so I was a little confused.
No problem. So if you have a reference letter, just email it to me. I'm going to put my email down, and you can just email that directly to me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
How many letter of recommendations do we send?
Just one.
Okay. And does it have to be from the same person I gave the name reference from, or can it be from a different person?
It can come from a different person, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for those good questions. This is the page where I have more questions. Do you have any more questions for me other than those ones that you asked?
Yeah, who should the letter of recommendation should be from? Like the high school people, or the place where you have worked previously?
It can be from either one. So it can be, if you're already a Columbus State student, you can be from one of the professors. If you're a new student or a recently graduate student from high school, it can be from your high school teachers or your counselors from high school, or it can be from a supervisor from previous job or a current job.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Any questions? More questions, I should say. Okay, thank you so much for that. I'm going to talk to Katrina now, and I'm going to have her talk a little bit more details about the programs that we have, like the Women Connection.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for a great info session, Abdi. So yes, I can talk about the programs. Abdi, is it possible if you could go back to that slide that has the
Absolutely.
logos of all of the different programs, please? So I know that Abdi talked about how the departments of global diversity and inclusion and student engagement and leadership were previously two departments, and now we're merging into the awesome student engagement and inclusion department. So Women's Connection, Dream Network, Man Initiative, Scholar Network, and Safe Zone all came from originally from global diversity inclusion and will be part of student engagement inclusion. So I'm just going to give like a brief overview of what each of these programs are. So Women's Connection is our mentorship program for female identified and non-binary students at Columbus State, and they are matched with an employee or staff member or faculty member at Columbus State that they are asked to meet with at least once or two times a month. And they also are have core groups, which are these event programs where the events where we have the students and mentors meet together once a month for a presentation, an activity, and if the students participate in the mentorship component and the core group component, they are given $250 scholarship the end of fall semester and spring semester. So it's a total of $500. With Women's Connection, Man Initiative is very similar. It is for male identified students and non-binary students, and they are matched with a mentor as well. They have monthly meetings, and if the students participate in these the required components of this, they receive the $250 scholarship the end of fall and spring semester. So Scholar Network, which says CSSN, Columbus State Scholar Network, that is the program we have for support program we have for former foster youth that are current students at Columbus State, or students who were in kinship care or adopted. And from this program, they also have a lot of different supportive resources. We also have emergency resources like bus passes and gift cards. And students who participate in this program also receive a stipend the fall and spring semester. And we connect them with a wide range of support, particularly for this population, to help support them while they're at college at Columbus State. It's a really great program. I also oversee that program too in Women's Connection. So Dream Network is our support program for students who have DACA status or are undocumented. So DACA students are given protection to go to and the rights to work and go to school. And Dream Network is the support program we have for students who have DACA status or also are undocumented. And in this program, they also provide supportive resources to internal support and also community resources. We also give a lot of immigration update policies, like we may have specialized lawyers that come to help support our students to help navigate the support they have. And then we also have a partnership with OSU called the SCOPE program, which is their program for students who have DACA status or undocumented. So that pipeline of support from Dream Network to SCOPE at OSU is a big thing as well. Safe Zone is our allyship support program for the LGBTQIA plus program. So in this series of trainings, we provide trainings for allies to support LGBTQIA plus program community at Columbus State and beyond. So this series of trainings is not just given by us in our department, but various allies across the Columbus State community. So we have a lot of different trainers with that. So that is another program as well. And as an ambassador, you will have the ability to kind of oversee one of these different areas. I know Safe Zone will look a little bit different this year. There won't be an exact person overseeing this, but for sure for Women's Connection, Scholar Network, and Dream Network, and Man Initiative, there's always an ambassador that will help plan these events, communicate with the members of these programs, and also assist with the programming and everything. And you'll get to meet with me on a one-on-one basis, which will be pretty cool. Brett Welsh, who's not here, who's the director of our department, he oversees Man Initiative and Dream Network.
Well, thank you so much for that, Katrina. Anybody have questions for her? Wonderful. Did you want to add anything, Gigi?
Thanks, Abdi. Yeah, I just wanted to say I see the question from Urza in the chat about adding another reference name. And I would say if you've already submitted your application, what you could do is contact the reference that you'd like to write you a letter and just have them send the letter directly to Abdi's email. And that would be totally fine. If we receive more than one recommendation letter or a recommendation letter from a different reference than you had originally put, any of those scenarios, that's totally fine. Hopefully that answers the question about that. And I think I just wanted to mention as well that we do have some marketing opportunities. I'm working with our current ambassadors who do marketing and social media. So we do have a team that looks at Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and looks at social media trends and tries to keep our posts pretty relevant. So if anyone's really interested in the marketing piece, that's also an area you could potentially work in. And then we also have Cougar Connect, which is the college's, oh, you're a marketing major? That's awesome. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
I was actually the social media coordinator in my high school as well.
oh, very cool. You can teach us so many things, I'm sure. So, yay, I'm excited. Yeah, it's been fun, and I would love to hear about your experiences and what you've learned and everything. So, and then the other thing that we do is we have a platform called Career Connect, which hopefully all of you have heard of, or most of you have heard of. And that is kind of like the college's online space for people to get involved, to see what is available. We have resources like departments and programs on there. And then we also have things like our student groups on there. So every ambassador kind of gets a little bit of information about Career Connect. They get a level of experience with it from working with creating events on there and working in our office. So that's another opportunity as well, as you can kind of get a behind the scenes look at Cougar Connect. And I think that's it, other than talking about COAs. So I don't know, I just wanted to offer Susan the opportunity to talk a little bit about COAs if she would like.
Sure. Currently, we have 28 student groups, which our COAs are our clubs, organizations, and affiliations. And they range everything from a Pride group to Muslim Student Association, Black Student Union, tabletop gaming, video gaming club. We have some professionally focused ones like the student dental hygiene, the student paralegal group, student nurses association. We have STEM specific, and really you name it, we probably have it covered. And one of the things that we do in student engagement and inclusion is to encourage students to get involved. We want them, if they have an idea for a club, we have a pretty easy way for them to go about doing that. We need 3 students who are willing to serve as an officer. And if they have an advisor, whether it's a faculty member or a staff person, or even if they don't, we help them find that person to serve as their advisor. And then student engagement staff, right now it's just me, but hopefully we'll be having one of you work with me to help, facilitate the administrative side of our student groups, different trainings and education opportunities and things like that is run through student engagement. There are several leadership opportunities, and one of the things we have planned for this coming year is to develop a leadership co-curricular path or a community engagement focused co-curricular path that we will start out probably with our clubs and orgs, and then eventually open that up to the rest of the student population. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'm really looking forward to working with you.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. very much, and thank you all of the students who joined us. If you have any other questions, let me know. But this concludes our, hi, Lois.
I had a question if there's like is there sort of a training program where you can learn to use your skills better to help the student ambassador leadership program?
Like the trainings that we give you, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there are like specific trainings that are given to make sure that you're.
Absolutely, that's a wonderful question. Remember how we discussed our Wednesday meetings, 2 to 4?
Mhm.
That is our trainings. That happens every week. So we get trainings by either us, like our department folks, like from Susan to Katrina to Genevieve and Brett, or it will be inviting other people from other areas on the on campus will be coming to give us trainings about different things from being how to be a good host, how to time manage, how to be a good ally. So all of those different things will be amazing that we'll be giving students training for. And that's a wonderful question. Yeah, we'll not just throw you to the wolves.
Okay,
We'll
thank
give you
you.
trainings regularly throughout the whole time that you're here.
Okay, thanks.
Susan.
And Lois, I just wanted to speak to that also, what Abdi just said. But if you get paired with one of us as your staff mentor and you're working in our programs, that's part of what we're going to do with you is we're going to bring you up to speed. You're going to be helping to create the things that you're doing. So you're going to be learning leadership and initiation skills and things like that. You're going to have our full support because that's what we really enjoy doing is mentoring and helping you to reach your fullest potential.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully, you got a lot of information. Now that you applied to the program, you will know what you're getting yourself into. And those of you who have not applied, you know what the program is about, so you can see if you're still interested in applying. Feel free to email me if you have any other questions that you can think of right now, and I'll get back with you. Well, thank you so much, everybody.